Good evening to you all, ladies and gentlemen. Hope I find you well today. Today broadcasting from the comfort of the studio. Today we've got electricity. That's a positive, and we're glad that we can actually interact whilst in the studio and bringing the vibe and all. Realizing your worth is what we're talking about, and I'm glad we broke through the first session last week, and then now we actually into the next step, into the next stage. I'm glad those that are joining in, and then I'm hoping most people will come through and also join us as the show progresses. But I'm glad that I was going through the notes, and I was going through the comments that you guys were posting on the comment section. We've got a topic that's actually what we would like to call a major, that we need not to ignore, especially like now in times like these. um what we mostly think of ourselves is what's gonna push us through. So yeah, as people join in, let's talk about it. Last week I'd given the term homework in terms of who you are, how you define that, and how you let that push you in your journey, how you let that push you in your walk and in fulfilling your dreams, your goals, along those lines. So today we're gonna break it down a bit. But yes, as people are joining us, welcome to Kubatana. As you all know, we are muchly involved in the mental health um, process of getting information out there to people and helping. Like, we've got programs that are beneficial, especially during this time of the lockdown, this just lockups and stuff. So yeah, please do go through the page and see the activities that we've got. We've got Zumba, fitness, we've got painting and mental health. We've got loads up coming through again. So it's gonna be a packed page, a packed lineup of events that we gonna be giving to you guys, and also that we be together in the participation, because like in such times you need someone to take you through. You need someone to walk you along. So as Kubatana, we are here for that, and we definitely ready to push you through and to walk together. We do not want to walk alone. We do not want you to walk alone. We want to do this together. We are a family, one family, and let's do it together. Alrighty. So as we start to now, alrighty, just like last week, our comment section is open. That's how we participate. That's how we communicate. You guys make use of the comment section, and whatever question you've got, whatever contribution that you want to make, let's make use of the comment section, and then definitely we'll read the comments that are coming through, and definitely we'll ask the questions that are coming through on the comment section, and we'll try together as a family to answer those questions, right? So today I'd like to drop down who you are, who I am, and try and link it down with you see, if I bring this book, that means we've got a deep conversation. This is the book of magic. I call it my little book of magic, the yellow book. Alrighty. So we're bringing down who you are to your identity, right? And then it becomes more hard now to break down what identity is, right? Because at first, actually, answering the question of who you are is hard on its own, like we figured out from the last session that we had last week. It's not just mainly giving your name and your last name. It goes beyond that. It touches what we want to call the inner person. And I'm thinking that now brings about the identity of who you are. So the what pushes you from the inner side, what drives you from within, what motivates you, what keeps you going. There's that one thing that keeps you going, that keeps you moving. I'm trying to think that's our identity. Unonzo Shinzi, there's a time when people say, this is a lost identity. It's because when we look, it's either at something or at someone with the way they act or they bring out, we see a mismatch. That's why maybe people say it's a misidentity or something, misfit, something like that. But if we try to analyze that term that we call a misfit, you'll be shocked that it's actually the it could be the true identity there. Why am I saying so? Because from it's maybe it's derived from inside. But now when we see, because we've got certain expectations. That's what I was saying last week. Like society has expectations. Family has have expectations. So when we measure, we do not measure a person in regards to what they carry, the value that they have that we talked about, the worth. We measure with what we deem our value system, measuring someone. That's why we've got that comparison in society. We measure according to a certain standard that we've set instead of measuring according to the capability and capacity that someone carries. If we look at it that way, and we will not have these problems. We have a functioning community because everyone views the person that's next to them with with the capacity and capability that they carry. So that means as people, we actually have a certain element that we're neglecting. We don't take time to understand people. We don't take time to read people. Like people say, you will never understand people. I'm thinking that could be wrong. There's a time that you actually need to understand a certain type of behavior. Teachers could understand where I'm coming from and what I'm trying to explain. You take time to actually bring about that you can understand people. You can understand how we act just by simply maybe spending time and interacting. But now society has broken that. We just on our phones. We're on our phones. We're texting. We're typing. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We have no time for each other, so we do not know. Alrighty. So just maybe moving away from this identity part as I wait for comments to come through. Thank you those that are joining us. Today we're just going deep from our conversation that we had last week of who you are, bringing down to the identity, and then how all these line up to take a road that we're saying a road to fulfilling our dreams, our goals, our aspirations, especially these times that we are in, the times that we are under lockdowns, being restricted to be together. We need someone to talk to, but how and where? So we've brought about this platform where we actually talk about the worth that we have as people, the value that we have in us, and how we can use that to actually boost. This time, we actually in a time where we need to boost our our mental strength, because I'm telling you, if we are hit mentally, there is no way we can actually bounce back. So we need to stay on point, on top of the situation. That's why we try to bring about these discussions, these platforms where we can actually get a chance to talk. So as I actually wait for people to come through and share their comments, share their questions, their views on this topic that we have. Thank you guys for joining us. Nancy Mkudu, thank you so much for joining. We've got Sandra Tsitsimpofu. Thank you so much for joining. Please do send in your comments, your contributions. If you've got any questions that you'd want us to tackle right now in regards to this this topic that we have, please do send them in the let's make use of the comment section. Really appreciate you guys taking time out to join us and be a part of us here. So definitely we appreciate you guys coming through, and yeah, we gonna touch on this topic and keep on pushing until we hit that mark where we are certain that this is the place, this is the point that we need to start off from, because I can tell that when the year started, um we got hit hard because we're expecting that this will be over maybe by late last year, but now we've actually continued into the new year. So then from there, how do we boost? How do we to develop? How do we take it from there? All right, let me take Nancy's comment. Who determines one's identity? Is it the society around them or the individuals themselves? That's a very good question. And if you try to look at it, for most times, for a longer period, we've let society determine one's identity. Like the example that I gave last week, that I growing up I wanted to be a doctor, but to be honest, I never looked at it becoming a paint doctor. But now I'm in the joy of being a paint doctor. I specialize in that. So when people come through, when people start going up, it's a place where we are put in a box that people have set standards for, right? We have to be this. But now you see that's when we have fights. People like have fights, arguments, disagreements, because the inner person is fighting that box system, right? There's no way now you can tell me I should become. Let me look for something that's totally different from what I'm doing. I should become maybe sure, an agronomist, right now. Become an agronomist. You're putting me in that box where I should be rooted in the farming system, in the plants and stuff and stuff and stuff. That's a society standard. Yet inside, I feel at peace. You see, with my brushes, I feel at peace. Um, with my paint, I feel at peace. I feel me coming out. So now, so it's hard for us to say society should set the standard for one's identity. One's identity now. Let me go to where one's identity is derived from. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth, and we know the verses that go after and after. Look at it this way. And then I forgot the exact verse, but in Jeremiah it says, "I have known you, I knew you before you were woven in your mother's womb." See, if that kind of a person knew you before you were made, that means your identity is rooted in God. And the only way one can develop and actually understand their identity is a relationship with the maker. Like I always used to use this example. We are a living piece of art, and God is the main artist. So when he painted you, he knew exactly your identity, your final outcome. But what we battle is we now move away from the origin of your identity, and want to place it on another angle that we do not, it does not even measure up to um any standard that knows you. You know what I mean? What you have, what you carry, that value that we talked about last week, and your goals, and your end, your end your end what your end zone, your end destination is already set, it's already known. But now you see that we live a life where we chase another identity so that we can please another certain type people of thank you so much, Mabel. Jeremiah 5 verse 1. Thank you so much. Already we take time chasing another identity that's totally different from who you are. That's where you end up people having identity crisis, people are in depression, and a whole lot of stuff. It's because the first who I am was hard. So we kind of like neglected it and moved on to another who you are. That's, I wouldn't want to call it fake, but that's not you. So now we are living double lives whereby the true you is being suppressed, whilst we exalt the not so true you. That's when you have conflict of interest between people, like between self, right? And it's always a problem. It's always a problem. I don't know. Mabel, please do drop your comments in the comment section, your views, if you've got any questions. The story that we have, this discussion that we have right now. What do you think? What's your take? What's your view? How do you see the whole identity issue, the whole platform whereby we've got different the different minds going on in our mind. Like we've got different minds going on in our mind. What's your take on that? How do you view it? How would you break it down if given the opportunity? Let's right now let's use the comment section, guys. Let's drop those comments. Let's drop those questions. Let's drop those contributions, and then let's take it from there. Let's just see who comes through with next contribution or next question, and then let's take it from there, guys. That's the highest peak mountain in Africa right now. We prepare. Let's say we are 20 of us. We prepare to go on the journey on the mountain climb. We 20. Let's just give an example that we 20. We prepare, everything is ready, and then the day that we start, we get to the floor of the mountain. There are people that at the mountain peak, they do not want to move on. They just stationary there. They do not want to climb. That's fair enough. We've got them that day. Some move on, and then at the middle of the walk of the climb, we've got some people that are too tired to continue. We've got people that they're content with being in the middle of the mountain. But then there are people that continue all the way to the top of the mountain peak. These are what we call climbers. And these climbers, this is what we want to as we try to actually build this identity issue, we want to install again what we call a climber's mentality in us. You see, a climber is not satisfied with just preparing and going to the foot of the mountain and resting. A climber is not satisfied with going to the halfway of the mountain and settling there and going back after. A climber is only satisfied the moment that he reaches the mountain top, the moment that he's on the peak and he sees everything that's good, that's over the horizon. That's a climber's mentality. Then now imagine having established who you are, having that identity in you. It's a moment where you now need to take that climber mentality in pursuing your worth as a journey, pursuing your worth as that is that dream, pursuing it, but with the climber's mentality that you do not stop like just at the start, you do not stop in the middle, but you stop at the ultimate end where you get the prize. That's one thing that we also need to infuse in the part where we're talking about you knowing your identity, you knowing who you are. So it's actually it's a whole long process, loaded process in fact, because it's not just like I said, it's not just hi, my name is Josh, this chap's okay. It's not, it's beyond, it's more than that. It's actually what defines life for you. It's actually what pushes you in life. It's actually what drives you. That's who you are. That's your identity. If I'm to ask right now, let me just try type this. How many, let me just type this one. How many of us are sure they know their identity there? Know their identity. Okay, let me just send through that. How many of us are sure they know their identity? You'll be shocked that given 500,000 people, you'll be shocked that only maybe 100,000 know their identity, 100,000 know who they are. It's because we kind of neglected this question, thinking that it's just basic your name and last name. That's who you are. So that's when we have people that actually go to the end, that they live life to the point that they now live this earth, but they haven't fulfilled the mission. They haven't fulfilled the calling, because we failed to on the onset of on answering who they are, who you are, what's your identity, what drives the we. I'm thinking if we manage to hit that and hammer that, the way we tackle life becomes different. In a way, it becomes much easier because you know what exactly pushes you and where that pushes it should take you to, right? So let me no guys, no, let's hit the comment section, guys. Let's hit the comment section. I'm thinking we almost there, but now let's hit the comment section. What do you guys think on this issue that we've started today, talking about the identity part of it and infusing that with the climbers mentality? Climbers don't give up. Never. Climbers don't give up. Climbers keep on pushing until they get to the top. How many times have we given up? How many times? We actually know that this is my dream, but how many times have we given up? And do you think it's okay if you give up? Who do you think will push your dream for you? That's one of the questions that you should ask yourselves most times when you try to give up on something. It's hard, totally hard, and I understand, everyone understands. But imagine if you give up on your dream, a dream that was placed in you, not in me, but in you. If you give up, who will push that dream? That means if that dream dies, we will never, anyway in history, we know that there was so and so that did this and that because you let it die. All those people that we read about now, those guys had dreams. Those guys had challenges. But they asked themselves this question, that why, if I give up, who will make it? Those guys succeed. Right now we talk of people like Thomas Edison. We talk of people that brought about the bulbs and stuff. They had that drive in them. They kept on pushing because they knew that if failure, they understood that failure isn't part of us. It's not anyhow. So why can't we do it now? I'm thinking people think that those guys we are enough. We still need more, guys. We still need to hear of so and so who broke out and did this and that. We still need to hear things happening just because people believed in themselves, believed in what they carried, and actually took it out to there. You know what I mean? Let's hit the comment section, guys. Let's make use of this comment section. Alrighty, let's make use of the comment section, and then drop your comments, drop your questions, drop your suggestions, right? Because I'm thinking, yes, we living in tough times, but there's that angle that I'm thinking, if we only look at it that way, we can have something more of like easy way out. An easy way out, but with the lining that has you in it, with the DNA that's you in it, right? That's knowing who you are, like pushing your identity, pushing your dream. It's guaranteed. There's no one that will push your dream after. It's only you who has that wiring of that dream. It's only you who has that identity. You make it come true. If you don't, then I can't. If you can't, then your brother can't. If you can't, your sister can't. So we have to push. We have to make it work. How? Let's start by definitely understanding who we are, going down to knowing our identity. We said before, our identity comes from God. Why can't we take time, especially in times like this? Why can't we take time to sit back and search? God is there and waiting for you to actually be like, I really need to know who I am, how am I wiring, all those things. Let's take time and do that. And then from there, He'll direct us. We have that direction, that sense of direction. We will be going from here, how we take it and stuff. But if we don't, then we end up moving in some other identity that we do not know, someone else that we are not, and we end up getting frustrated, depressions, under the moon all the time. So, guys, yo, already. So, I think this time as we're about to round off, let's just hit the comment sections, guys. What you guys think, your questions and contributions as we try to round off. Thank you those that are joining us. Tatienda now, thank you so much for joining us. It's a pleasure to see you guys that are joining too. But please do drop through your comments, your questions and contributions as well. Thank you so much for joining us here on our Kubatana page as we bring about realizing your worth, inspired, right? We just want to be the people right now that take time to develop what we carry, time to push what we have inside. Willard Paidamoyo, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a great pleasure when people just come to and join. Hopefully we're taking a message through. We're bringing a certain message through that we need to start moving along, to start taking across and build up on it. It's always a pleasure when we meet and discuss something that's beneficial today and in the long run. I'm very honored to be here, and I take time to really appreciate people that take what we are doing here and actually do it practically and push it. Because some of us were products of this. We took time and we actually started pushing it. It's not something that we say so that we can make people. We're not mind massagers, but we speak stuff that actually takes us to another point. It develops us from another point. We in tough times right now, but I'm thinking once you know your identity, once you know who you are, there's that certain hope that tomorrow is gonna be brighter. It pushes you to a brighter tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining us. Those that are joining us again, thank you so much for joining us. Please, Drew T Nyananga, thank you so much for joining us. Keep those comments and contributions and questions that you, if you've got questions that you really need to ask that you can't maybe ask in the comment section, please make use of our inbox. Drop those questions there, then definitely we'll get back to you, and we'll also give you another platform that maybe you can get someone that you can talk to, if you've got maybe deeper issues that are beyond the comment section. Alrighty, as we come to a close, guys, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us again here live on Facebook for Realizing Your Worth sessions, and definitely let's make a date next week on the next session. But what I'll leave you today is words of encouragement. Push everything as if in the climber mentality bracket. For those that didn't join, that joined us after I had explained about the climber's mentality, a climber does not settle at the bottom of the mountain. A climber does not settle on the middle of the mountain. A climber only stops when he reaches the mountain top. That's the ultimate goal. So everything that we do, I'm thinking as we close, these are the words that I'll leave you with as we go about our daily business, as we go about our thinking, our thought processes, our plannings, and our devotions and our everything. Let's have that climber mentality fixed in us. We do not give up, we do not stop on the beginning, we stop at the ultimate end, where we have the prize, where we see over everything the challenges that we had and say, I overcame. Those are the words that let's be climbers. Let's have that climber mentality. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today on our page, on our Kubatana page, Realizing Worth sessions. My name is Josh Chapske, and let's make a date on the next session. That's next week Friday, same time, same place. Have a lovely weekend, have a lovely night, and God bless. Please do share the link once the video is generated. Please do share the link. Tell a friend that there's a place where we've got some sessions that are helping, where we're talking about the worth, the value that we carry as people. And please, next time, invite a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend that on Friday, Kubatana Live, there's always those realizing word sessions. Thank you so much, and keep those comments coming through in the comment sections, questions, contributions, and if you have even deeper questions that go beyond the comment section, please make use of our inbox. We'll definitely get back to you. We'll have people that are waiting for you to take your questions, to take your and give you the much needed help. That's it. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a lovely evening. Let's meet again same week, next week, same place, same time. Thank you, Josh Chapsky, and I'm out.